Fancy, we're moving on up. Here we're Portland, Canada. Here we come. No trip. Let's do this. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. We're here in Oregon. We're coming to see Andy's tank. Invite us over. He's got a beautiful Resi tank. I went inside. I got a quick peek. Looks phenomenal. However, the weather's too good. I don't think I want to continue working today, but I have to do this for you guys. Let's go inside and check out some more. Come on. Andy, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
So we met you yesterday, Steve's house, right?
Yep.
He's got a beautiful tank, so do you. I can't believe I've seen this thing. Looks phenomenal, man.
Thank you.
So clean, so much to talk about. So let's start from the top, because on this one I got to be organized. It's a lot. So these lights, I think I seen them yesterday at Scott's house.
Yeah.
So what's the name of these lights again?
Refi, they're Refi Uno 2.0 Pros.
And how long have you been using them for?
So I've been using Refi since 2018, but
Yeah.
these have been around for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
And these are manufactured by a member of our club, the PNWMAS, who lives in the Seattle area. And the cool thing about these lights is that they come with different reflectors. So either 90-degree reflectors or for a really focused light, or 120-degree reflectors for a wider spread,
Yeah.
or even 60-degree reflectors for a really focused light if you have them really high up.
Are you using the 60?
No, I'm using the 90
The
because
90?
I like to sit in this chair here and look at my tank, and I hate to get that side glare that a lot of LEDs have. And that's why I have so many of these lights here too, because I've got them really low to the surface.
Yeah.
He recommends having them higher up. When they're higher up, you need less of them. But I don't like having any side glare. So when I sit in drink my coffee and look at my tank, I'm just seeing the light on the fish.
Bro, they look phenomenal. Pretty sleek looking too. And the tank that we saw yesterday looked really good. So is this one. So obviously they're doing their job.
Yeah, I really like the lights. I've got a set that I've been running since 2018 too. So they last forever.
So they're good lights then.
Yep.
Okay. And let's jump right into flow then. So you have two MP40s, I see on each side.
Two MP40s, and I have one of those J-Cod.
So you got two of them?
I have one of those in the back. I was just testing it out.
Oh, so you got another MP40 here.
Another MP40 there. Yep.
So one MP40, two MP40s, three, and then a J-Cod power head on the bottom. Okay, it seems like the flow is more than plenty. I even see the Fungia with the little bubbles. It's actually getting tons of flow and it's hiding in there. So definitely you don't have an issue with flow, that's for sure. So how long has this tank been running?
So this tank has been up for 5 years now.
Yeah.
But it may not be up for much longer because this is an original Red Sea 750. It's the model that had issues with leaking.
So you don't want to take the chance.
Much longer than 5 years, I don't know. I'm a little concerned.
So you're thinking of your next tank already?
Thinking of my next tank, yeah.
Gotcha.
The corals are a little bit less grown out because I've had this issue with those burrowing worms, the spionid worms I was telling you about, that burrow into the coral and they stick their antennae
acroporas,
out.
you mean?
In the acroporas. So 2 years ago, I tore everything apart and I dipped everything in ivermectin to get rid of them. And it was perfect for like 6 months and they all came back.
Oh my God.
So that's why the growth is it's about 2 years worth of growth,
Gotcha.
not 5 years.
But it still looks phenomenal, man. Don't beat yourself up over it. So the dimensions of the tank is what, 6 feet long?
6 feet, yep.
30 deep?
30 deep, I think 34 high, something like that.
No, I don't think it's 34, maybe 27 high?
27 maybe.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. And again, what size tank you thinking next?
Well, I really like this space right here. So I'm looking at some of the water boxes that are the display is about 200 gallons. So just a little bit longer and a little bit deeper too, because it's easier to aquascape when you got a little deeper. Yeah, I could.
So let me jump right into parameters on this tank. I'm sure the numbers are more similar to everyone, where you keep your calcium, alkalinity, magnesium.
Yeah, so alkalinity is about 8.
8.
Calcium is about 420. Magnesium is about 1400.
1400.
Yep.
And your nitrates and phosphates?
Nitrates and phosphates, I always tell everybody that I think besides alkalinity, stable alkalinity, I think that's the most important parameter for
Phosphates,
SPS, right? Nitrate and phosphate. Because here, if I don't make any corrections, my nitrate goes down to 0 and my phosphate goes up.
Gotcha.
And so I always shoot for 100-to-1 nitrate to phosphate ratio. So between 5 and 15 nitrates, ppm, and 0.05 and 0.15 phosphates, ppm.
Gotcha. 0.15 seems to be a little on the high end.
That's a little bit on the high end, but I've had decent success with color at 0.15.
Yeah.
I prefer to have it about 0.1.
Gotcha.
Because I find that if the nitrate gets too low, then I get dinoflagellates immediately on the sand bed. So I have to keep the nitrate up, and I do that by dosing ammonium bicarbonate.
Yeah.
And then with phosphate, I put a little lanthanum chloride in the overflow here, and I have the overflow runs into a filter roller, and then it catches most of the lanthanum phosphate particles because I can hear it advance after I add the lanthanum chloride, and that's been good at keeping the parameters spot on.
Gotcha. And how do you deliver your calcium and alkalinity and magnesium?
So I use, currently I'm using ESV, Bionic 1 and 2.
Great product, by the way.
Yeah, it is a great product. It's a good deal if you get the big 5-gallon buckets of it.
Yeah.
And I have been using a combination of a calc reactor and that, but I've been gone this summer, and it's hard to, because evaporation rates change, you know, with depending on the AC in the house and stuff. It's harder to keep the salinity stable if I have somebody else watching my tank.
Oh yeah.
Not keeping close track of it. So for the summer, I pulled the calc reactor out, and I'm just doing ESV 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
And I keep track of it with an Alkatronic.
Yeah. And so you say you do the ESB, the A and B, you do ESB?
ESV 1 and 2. So the 1 is the alkalinity, 2 is calcium magnesium.
And you use their salt as well?
No, I like the Red Sea Blue Bucket.
Red Sea Blue Bucket?
I've used it forever, and it mixes up super fast for me, really clean, and it's always available. So.
Okay. And how often you do water changes?
Yeah, that's a good question. So this tank, I went for 2 years with no water changes.
Okay.
Because I dose trace elements with a different system I can talk about in a minute. Because I wanted to see how I could push it. Because there's a lot of reefers in parts of the country where water is really expensive, and there's limits on how much you can use. And, you know, we use a lot of water as reefers. So I wanted to see, you know, could I do a low water use tank? And went 2 years without it. And I started to have issues with brown jelly. And my dissolved organic carbon went really high. And at that same time, I was having lots of problems with cyanobacteria. And my hypothesis is that cyanobacteria really flourishes when your dissolved organic carbon gets high in your tank. And because since I started doing water changes, I said, okay, this is a great experiment, but I'm going to change. And now I do about 15% once a month. And 15%? I do the sand bed. Yep, do the sand bed. And my cyanobacteria completely went away, and I keep the dissolved organic carbon within the recommended range.
So monthly water changes then?
Monthly water changes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
About 15%.
15%. Anything else that you dose to the tank?
Yeah, so I use, I dose trace elements with this, I mix trace elements in a cocktail.
Okay.
And actually Scott, we talked about how Scott did the same thing yesterday. Mixing trace elements from Captivate, Aquaculture, Reef Blueprint, where, and I actually developed an app that helps you calculate that called Reefability.
Okay.
And what you do is you just upload a PDF, an ICP to your phone, and the app calculates a dosing cocktail. So you mix, you know, fluoride and rubidium and, you know, all of the trace elements, you know, depending on what your ICP was, a drop of this, a liter of that, milliliter of that, and so on. Mix it up into the gallon cocktail, and I put it on my doser, and it doses daily for a month or for 2 months or whatever. And I noticed when I started doing that some of the colors got better. Yeah. And so I think keeping some of the traces, like fluoride especially, like the blue tips on the Pro Corals Rainbow there appeared when I started dosing fluoride. And so that's something that I do that's a little bit different.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like reef moonshiners, but you don't have to dose from
not
individual.
As complicated.
Not as complicated. It's not as much work. Yeah. You were telling me that my lights are too high.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing too bad. I mean, again, the problem that I was saying earlier, everybody 20 years ago, what did they tell us in the hobby? You got to get the most light possible, the most flow, the most skimming.
Yep.
Problem is, if we do that now, we kill tanks.
Yep.
Flow's too strong, lights are too strong, protein skimmer can strip everything out.
Yep.
And it's different. Back then, we had metal highlights and T8s and T5s and power compacts. it was hard to produce that much wattage with light.
Yep.
Or that part per se, you know?
One of the reasons why I think nutrients are so important is because as I'm the president of, or I have been the president of our reef club, and a lot of beginning reefers have issues with new tanks with low nutrients because they're using a lot of dry rock, which sucks the nutrients out of the water. And so one of the issues that's widespread in the hobby is that people have really low nutrients in young tanks. And so I think that, you know, you should be testing nitrate and phosphate once a week to make sure it's
I think you should
within
be
range.
testing your tank in general once a week at least.
Yeah.
So do you do scald water in here?
Yeah, so that from the kelp reactor, so I took it out for the summer, but normally I dose kelp water at night to help with the pH. And also to save some money because 2-part adds up.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
When you've got a lot of acros growing like this, you go through a lot.
Yes, since we're talking about acros, let's jump into your corals, man.
Yeah.
So it's acro dominated at the very top, which I kind of like it that way better than all the other stuff. It's like from the middle down. It helps by shading the corals and stuff like that. I think you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thanks.
I love your Setosa here with the little grafted spots out there.
Yeah, that's a big R grafted Setosa.
Yeah, you got the space and better pectina. I'm surprised it hasn't got bigger.
I actually just put that in there from the frag tank.
I was gonna say.
Yep, it's brand new in the tank. Yeah.
And
that one you got to be careful with because it'll send out sweepers like.
Oh, I know. Trust me, that works. One cool thing I'm noticing back there, the Sunset Monty took over an old coral, right?
Yep.
What, like a Posilipora?
No, that's it's a Gemifera. There's a really big Gemifera colony, and I used the skeleton. I just grew it over top.
Yeah, I just took it over, so it looked like.
Yeah.
I figured. Super cool.
Thanks.
And you got the good old Slimer back there.
Yeah, you know.
You got some Humulus acro here.
Yep. The green Slimer is so common, but it is the one coral people see when they come in the door.
I still love it.
And you know,
I don't know. I see you got 2 colonies.
They see the Oregon Tort and they see the green Slimer when they walk in the.
Yeah, I mean, you got your Montes in between here, Chalices down there. You got good old toadstool from Australia, neon green polyp one.
Tyree green toadstool.
Yeah, I mean, you got more Montes back there, some Oregon Torts here. I mean, it's looking really, really good.
This is an ORA red planet.
Right here in the front?
Yep. This
Fox
is
Flame right there.
Fox Flame, Home Wrecker.
Paletta Pink Tip right there?
Yep. No, this is a Arcmaster Yoda.
They're all so similar, man.
Yeah.
It's like the Garb Bonsai, it's like 10 different versions of it.
There's the All-Star. That's another coral I really like.
Where you have it?
Right in the middle there, see?
Oh, I got
right
you.
in the middle, yeah.
I recognize it now. It's a little saturated with the top.
Yep.
But I see it. See how the base is darker when it's not getting so much light?
Yeah.
Man, your corals look really good, especially your Gonies right here. So I gotta ask, what do you think makes these Gonies so happy?
I think that's another thing that the trace element dosing helps with. Because a lot of people that keep Gonies stress the importance of manganese. And that's one of the things that I check every month and dose every day, manganese.
Yeah.
And they also, Gonies are really susceptible to brown jelly.
Yeah.
And recently, my friend who runs AquaBiomics, a water testing company, discovered that a bacterium called Arcobacter is responsible for the brown jelly in both in Euphilia and in Gonies. And so I do tests once every couple months to see if it's in the tank.
Gotcha.
And so I've been able to see, you know, when I keep my husbandry of the tank in a certain way, you know, the levels of those stay down or not. And one of the things that really helped with that was keeping the dissolved organic carbon low and doing the water changes once a month.
Gotcha.
And I've had less brown jelly. But the thing about Gonies is that if they close up for like a week, you've got to do something.
Put some medicine on them or something.
Yeah. So if your Gonies close up for a week or more, put them for a 15-minute bath in iodine. Make a tea-colored solution of iodine using Lugol's.
Yeah.
Put them in there, and that
they love it.
They love it. Yep. They come back really strong after that.
Your corals look phenomenal, man. Keep it up. Let's talk about your fish a little bit now.
Yeah.
So you got a Regal Tang, Niger Trigger. I see a Blonde Nasal.
Yep.
What else am I missing? I see is Magnificent Fox Face.
A Magnificent Fox Face, yeah.
Yeah, you got a Mystery Wrasse, Purple Tang.
Yep.
What's that one right there? That wrasse?
That's a checkerboard wrasse.
Checkerboard.
And I have an earmuff wrasse that is it's like this big, but it's shy. And I cleaned the sand bed like 4 days ago, and it's still hiding in the sand.
Gotcha.
When I first got it, it was in the sand for. Oh no, that just came out actually. Just came out.
Hopefully we catch him. There he is. I see him.
See him?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
he's huge.
Yeah, it's my favorite wrasse.
Then you got a pair of clowns right here.
Yep.
Designer clowns.
We're always in the Gonies.
Wow, looks phenomenal, man. All right, can we look at your filtration now?
Go for it.
So what do we got here?
So this is my favorite piece of equipment here. This is a filter roller by Bubble Magus. It's an inexpensive one, but it works great. It has really helped me keep my phosphate down. Okay. Because it pulls all the detritus out before it starts to break down.
Look at the color of this.
Yeah. And this also helps pull the lanthanum phosphate out after I dose lanthanum chloride.
Wow, it looks really clean. And then what do you have for a protein skimmer?
It's a Red Sea. I can't remember the model number. Okay. But it's a pretty good skimmer. So I'm thinking
you run it super low, I noticed.
What's that?
You run it really dry from the bottom.
Yeah, I did that because my nitrates were going down a little bit, so I backed off.
Trying to skim under.
Yeah, because that skimmer takes nitrates out of the water like crazy.
Okay, and you have a UV sterilizer by any chance in here?
No, so I don't have a UV sterilizer, and my philosophy on those is that they're super important for a specific task. Like if you have, if you're having an issue with ick or something, you know, they're very effective. Steve Wiest has a big UV sterilizer on his tank, and it's been really effective at controlling ick on his Achilles. And if you have an issue like that, I think it totally makes sense to have UV sterilizer. Yeah. But I know several people that have had UV sterilizers had the sleeve or the bulb crack, and then they get all these heavy metals into their tank. Yeah. One guy lost his whole acro collection from heavy metals from the UV sterilizer. So if you have one just running all the time, it's kind of a risk, and I don't think it's worth it, at least not for me.
That's what, look, it's always about opinions, man, because I didn't run UV sterilizers for first 10 years, and I've been running them nonstop for the last 5 years.
And you never had one go bad on you?
No.
Oh, okay.
And no issues. So it's like cooking, like I was saying. Yeah. It's like there's a million. Think about it. You can do this with T5s, power compact still, metal highlights, LEDs. You can turn the lights on 5 hours a day, or 16 hours a day. Mm-hmm. You can do it with A and B. You can do it just water changes, cog washer, calcium reactor, mucha method, water changes, no water changes, feeding, no fish, more fish. There's so many different ways. So one thing I learned is I can't say you're wrong or I'm right or the other way around. It's just different ways of running things. Yeah. Just like, that's why somebody might tell me like, oh, like for instance, a lot of people have been running like you say, the trace elements method. I don't dose much trace elements, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. I'm seeing great results on tanks, but that's why I'm doing these tours to teach everyone. I get to learn a lot, and everyone watching at home, you guys get to see all these different styles. It's so different. It's so many ways you can do it. Think about it. You can fit different pellets. You can glue the cores, no glue the cores. You can keep them with more power, with less power.
This is the best thing about our Reef Club, because I get to go see all these tanks all around the area. And I see all these different tanks with different philosophies, and most of them look really good. And the other thing that I wanted to say about the UV sterilizer is there's one other benefit to not having one. Yeah. You see my shirt here, Pelagibacter. So I do aquabiomics tests on the microbiome like every 3 months. And these bacteria dominate the community if the water conditions are really pristine. And if the conditions start to go south, it disappears and other bacteria take their place. So it's a good indicator of whether it's a bacterium that corals actually have been shown to feed on. It's part of the bacteria plankton the corals feed on. Yeah. And it's also the most common group of bacteria on the Great Barrier Reef. And so it's a good indicator that your water conditions are really good. Yeah. And if you get a UV sterilizer, it kills them all. So Steve Wiest has a UV sterilizer, beautiful tank. So you obviously don't need that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You don't need it.
That's my whole point.
But for me, it's a good indicator. I can look and see, okay, do I have a lot of Pelagibacter? If I do, I know the tank is running well.
Gotcha. That's what you run every 3 months, the test?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. And also to check for pathogens,
So one more question. What do you have here? Alkatronic?
Alkatronic.
How long have you been running it?
I've been running that for about 5 years.
5 years?
And I'm going to swap it for an Aqua Whiz. Yeah. I have 2 Aqua Whizzes in the garage, and I love them.
Big difference?
Oh my gosh, they're so simple. You don't have to do anything. Maintenance is so simple. It's just pumps and air stones and a pH probe, and that's it. This thing has like 4 different pumps. There's so many things you have to calibrate. You got to change out.
It's old, man. It's old technology.
It's old technology, and I mean, it works great, but it's a lot more work to keep it going, right?
Gotcha.
And the AquaWiz is like, turn it on. It just works.
It's ready to go, right?
Yeah. So this is my second favorite alkalinity tester. And I'm going to wait till it dies, then I'll swap it out.
Gotcha. And then what do you got here? Some dosers? GHL?
Yeah, I have GHL dosers and a GHL controller, and I just use it as a monitor.
Okay, what are you dosing? The trace elements basically with the...
Yep, trace elements, and then the ESV 1 and 2. Yep.
Wow.
Oh, can I show you one other thing?
Of course you can.
So we had, in Portland a year ago, we had horrible ice storms.
Okay.
And Rudy Batara lost his whole SPS collection because of this.
Okay.
Because he had a power line fall on his street. He couldn't go in his house for 5 days. We just lost power. And so all my tanks now have these auto switches by Reef Box. And I have big lithium iron phosphate batteries. So this will run my return pump for 3 days if the power goes out. And it's an auto switch, so it'll do it if I'm away or, so it's good peace of mind.
That's a really good peace of mind, buddy. Yep. Seriously, really, really good. Well, Andy, seriously, you are killing it. This tank looks really, really good. I can only imagine what's coming next with the next tank.
I can't wait.
You like to tinker with things a lot, which is good. You're always looking for the next way to move forward with the hobby. So again, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you for inviting us over, man.
Vic. Yeah.
For those of you guys watching at home, don't forget to give us a like, post some comments below, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys soon.